What's up, everyone? Cinephile Mike here, and we are in Season 4 of Awards Season Reviews. We're counting down to the 98th Academy Awards with 98 reviews in 98 days. Quick reminder, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single day of the awards reviews that are coming at you. We are starting to wrap up our 4th theme week, the rest of the Critics' Choice. Mostly. I've seen most, but I haven't seen every film nominated yet. But this week I've been covering 7 of the films that are in the mix leading up to the Critics' Choice Awards, which are tomorrow night if you're watching me on posting day. This really is what many call the official kickoff to award season. Today I am looking at the second of the big 2025 pair of superhero films. Today, the newly reformed DC Studios and Warner Brothers Pictures reintroduction of the Man of Steel himself, Superman. Based on the characters created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, the film was written and directed by new DC Studios head, fanboy supreme, James Gunn. Superman flew onto screens in July, hoping to save the summer box office. In Superman, we pick up with Clark Kent, played now by David Corenswet, already established as a protector on Earth, balancing the demands of heroism with the responsibilities as a public figure. When a geopolitical crisis emerges between the nations of Boravia and Jaranpur, Superman must intervene, testing his judgment, strength, and the ethical boundaries of his actions. Alongside his local canine companion Krypto, he navigates a world that admires him, questions him, and constantly pushes him to define what it truly means to be a hero. As challenges escalate, Superman is confronted by a metahuman known as the Hammer of Boravia, and faces the machinations of tech billionaire Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas Hoult, whose schemes are both personal and globally consequential. Clark's relationships with Lois Lane, played by Rachel Brosnahan, and other allies are tested as the stakes grow, forcing him to balance trust, morality, and the safety of the innocent citizens. The introduction of a small supporting team, including Green Lantern Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, Mr. Terrific, played by Edie Gathegi, and Hawkgirl, played by Isabel Merced, provides aid in unexpected ways, enriching the narrative without overshadowing Superman himself. Now, at its core, Superman is about Clark Kent navigating what it really means to be a hero, right? Not just with his powers, but with his heart and judgment. From the city streets to the cosmic threats, the film blends these big, spectacular action moments that really feel intimate and personal. It really is a comic book come to life, full of character, high stakes, high energy, and it reminds us why Superman isn't just an alien with powers, but that he's a symbol that we can actually relate to. David Corenswet is born to play Superman. He strikes that perfect balance between approachable humanity and heroic gravitas, easily, in my opinion, the most compelling take since Christopher Reeve. Rachel Brosnahan brings gusto to Lois Lane, giving her both heart and fire, while Skyler Gisondo's Jimmy Olsen surprises with a playful, subversive energy that keeps him from being a sidekick caricature. Nicholas Hoult does his best to channel Luthor's megalomania, and though it doesn't always land, a few scenes do remind us why he was cast in the role. Nathan Fillion, Isabella Merced, and Edie Gathegi as the Justice Gang are used very smartly. They add depth and levity without overwhelming the story, really providing a strong supporting presence. James Gunn's screenplay gives Superman more to grapple with than supervillains. It's a story about identity, responsibility, and the choices that define us. There's a quiet immigrant story buried in the narrative, revealed through some of the best dialogue that Superman has had in years, particularly in the third act, without ever feeling heavy-handed. Krypto, surprisingly well-balanced, adds heart and humor without dominating the action. Gunn's approach skips a traditional origin retread, moving quickly into high stakes, and the pacing keeps the audience engaged while letting Clark's moral dilemmas carry their emotional weight. Again, the film really looks like a comic book brought to life, from Beth Mickles' production design and Rosemary Bradenberg's set decoration to David Scott's art direction, Metropolis, the Fortress of Solitude, and the Baravian landscapes all feel meticulously detailed, blending retrofuturism with grounded realism. Editors Craig Alpert and William Hoy keep the action sequences sharp and readable, especially in the Jaranpur climax, while the VFX team incorporates, crypto and the reality bending rift seamlessly. It's a technically polished film that supports the story rather than overbearing it, really letting the audience inhabit both the spectacle and the personal stakes. Now, let's talk about box office and awards. After its theatrical run this summer, Superman didn't quite give DC Studios the shattering record they hoped for. It made $354,184,465 domestically and $262,600,000 internationally for a worldwide take of $616,784,465. Critically, the film, as of this recording and posting, sits at an 83% on the tomato meter from 498 critical reviews and a slightly higher popcorn meter of 90% from over 25,000 audience reviews. Award season-wise, for the Critics' Choice Awards tomorrow night, Superman is nominated for Best Visual Effects. Additionally, it was recently nominated for 2 awards by the Makeup Artists and Hairstylists Guild, Best Contemporary Makeup and Best Contemporary Hairstyling, both in feature-length motion pictures. With 2 nominations at the Astro Awards, Best Action or Science Fiction Feature and Best Book-to-Screen Adaptation, the film has had over a dozen other nods across film festivals and critic circles for categories such as score, visual effects, and stunts. As for Oscar chances, Superman is currently on 2 of the shortlists, so it has a 50% chance of being nominated for Best Visual Effects and, or, could be both, Best Sound. We will find out shortly. We get those Oscar nominations announced on January 22nd. So where do I land? Again, like yesterday's Fantastic Four, Superman was a welcome comic book film. I think it was a well-made 4-star film. It has action, it has adventure, it has humor. I was on board for all of it. Now, if you need to watch or are looking to do your rewatch, you can head over to HBO Max to do so. All right. Thank you all for joining me for episode 27 of Awards Season Review Season 4, our penultimate episode of the Critics' Choice Mostly Theme Week. We're going to be doing this every day. We have 71 days left, so make sure you stay with me. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments. You can follow me everywhere on social platforms, on Letterboxd, and of course, head over to my website, cinephilemike.com, for even more reviews and movie goodies. All right, see everyone tomorrow for the next review, but until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.